Hi, everybody. Please welcome my amazing, incredible, beautiful, smart, nice, funny, talented uh, wife, Julie, and my oldest of four daughters, Samantha. Couldn't think of a better leader of our family, our daughters, than my oldest daughter, Samantha. And she's just incredible. And Julie, also, I write in the book, just an amazing partner for now, 30 something years. Been through everything together, and including building Hummingbird Sports. And so first, thank you both for everything that you are and for bringing so much joy and happiness to my life. But as far as this goes, let's start by a question for both of you. For Sam, I know you've been playing sports. I had a ball in your hand and your sister's hand since basically the time you were born, a Nerf ball in the living room. But now that you're a college athlete, been playing sports your whole life, what do you love about sports? What has it brought to you? And for you, Julie, watching our girls, what do you think that's meant to you? Let's start with that.
It's a good question. It's a tough question because I think one that's easier to answer is what do I not love about sports? There's just so much that I've gained and so many benefits. First of all, they're fun. It's great after a stressful day to just get out there and play. And it's a really huge stress reliever. It's just very enjoyable. Love every second of it. And then also my teammates. I met my best friends through playing sports, the camaraderie, the you know, working together to accomplish a common goal. It's just something, it's an experience that I think everyone deserves to have because it's so amazing. And it's contributed so much, not only to my development as an athlete, but my development as a person, as a human being. I wouldn't be the person I am today without sports, without my coaches pushing me, teaching me what it means to be determined and what it means to have discipline. Like, there's just so much. And I think to answer your question, the best way I can answer it is to say everything. I absolutely love everything about sports. There's just too much good that it does for people.
Well, I definitely feel a lot of regret not playing sports when I was younger. I know I've shared that. It was a different time, but I do feel like I missed out a little bit. So I am living vicariously a little bit through our girls, and I absolutely love it. I love watching them. For me, the best part of it is the emotion that it brings out, the faces that they have, the teamwork that they learn, the camaraderie. It teaches life skills that they'll carry with them forever. It's just an amazing rush for me to watch them involved in these sports. I'm so happy they are involved in it. It's really just truly amazing.
Yep. And the thing I'll add to that is the leadership. Sam, little plug for you as a junior captain of your college field hockey team, and watching you take that leadership role, and just amazing for me to watch you and your sisters, just like mommy said. As a female athlete and as a mom who has four female athletes, I've seen it growing up with my three older sisters, and it's changed a lot and gotten better. But can you give an example of how you feel that girls have been underserved, especially when it comes to sports? What you've seen firsthand, or any kind of experience that you can share.
Yeah, definitely. I think the most common thing that I've experienced, especially in high school, college not so much, but for high school, a lot of the time giving up field time when the boys had to play. They would cut our time short, or we would have to, step aside. And I've seen a lot of stories. Even there was a college last year that the girls field hockey team had to come off the field so the boys football team could come on and do their thing. I've seen a lot of instances like that where the boys get priority, not just even with field time, but with equipment and new orders and gear, and a lot of, like, even with housing. Sometimes I've seen the men's teams get into better housing than, things like that. It just seems like they take priority a lot of the time. And it's probably very subtle to people who don't look for it, but the second you look for it, it's very obvious that the girls get the short end of the stick on a lot of issues.
Yep.
I've seen a lot of that too. the list could go on, but just to name a few, even down to the uniforms and the sneakers that they wear or the cleats that they wear, they're not designed for women or girls. They're designed for boys and men. And they put two out on a shelf for display that says women's, and they dye them pink, and they think that they're solving a problem. But I've seen the girls in uniforms that just don't fit, and it's because they're designed for boys and men's bodies. And that's just a few things to name. I could go on and on about that.
Yep. So, for Sam, can we're talking about the headgear and making it. I know, you're field hockey goalie because that's the only position I'd let you play because you do wear a hard helmet. But whether it's field hockey, lacrosse, played with sticks and rock hard balls. Can you talk about some of the head injuries you've seen and talk about friends, teammates who have suffered?
Yeah, of course. Almost every game, something happens where a ball gets lifted. It's just how the game goes. It's not intentional. It's a rock hard ball that girls are swinging at, and it's launching ridiculously quickly through the air. At club practice once, I was doing a corner, which is where the goalie runs out and takes basically a shot, and a girl right next to me, it was a shot directly to her head, and she fell, held her head, and got up, and there was already a bump the side, like a huge bump the second she stood up. And she was just kind of the culture, I guess. She was like, nah, it's all good. I'll keep going. And our coaches were like, no, you're going to sit down. But a lot of my teammates too, whenever they get a hit like that, they just want to keep going. They don't want to sit out because they're just used to it. They're used to the head injuries. And even one of my closest friends, a ball popped up on her. It didn't even look like it hit her that hard. It looked like it tapped her, but she had a devastating concussion that to this day she'll still have struggles with headaches, or she had to sit out for a week, and then the rest of the year she had migraines whenever she had to study for class. It was just, and from a little tap, I can only imagine the damage that can be caused by a much harder hit to the head, which is very common.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of what we put together in this book is all the girl stories of, and it's like you said, it's people talk about the physicality of lacrosse and other sports, but we hear most of the injuries we hear about just come from a single accidental ball stick to the head. It happens, and with that equipment, that's why we did what we did. So going back to how female athletes have been underserved, and you've seen it. When I say something like female empowerment, can you both talk about what that means to you?
Yeah, for sure. So female empowerment for me, on a personal level, is just me being able to say that I'm worth more than I've been given as a female athlete, and I'm strong, and I can compete, and I can make an impact, even expanding it past the realm of sports. I can make an impact in this world, despite maybe getting less chances because of being a female athlete, things like that. Like, for me, it's about strength and being able to rise up against what we've been given and, push through it and still be amazing at our sport and be amazing in life. Because I think women are capable of so much despite, whatever less we've been given.
I would agree with that. And I would say that it's about equality and feeling like you're not just a female athlete, you're an athlete. The fact that you're a female doesn't change anything. Female athletes are amazing. The games are amazing that they play. The sports may be different between males and females in every sport, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means it's different. So female empowerment is making females feel like they have a voice in the athletic world, in my opinion.
Yeah. So, one of the things I always get is, obviously as the face of the company is, it's strange coming from, a ball guy talking about female empowerment. And my answer is try having 4, amazing, awesome teenage daughters, and then talk to me about how I can't talk about female empowerment, because everything you're saying, Sam, and everything you are and your sisters are, I just love everything about you and what you're doing and your leadership skills. And you know, just everything that you are and continue to be. And the fact that, you know, you want to live, you know, long, you know, as healthy a life as you can, and brain health, and, you know, is obviously the most important thing, and always has been to me. So just want to say thank you to both of you, you know, for everything you are, all your support. I guess one last question I would have for you is a little personal. Of, you know, obviously this, you know, I wrote this book, and, you know, I've always been a business starter, and I run, you know, have my own businesses, and, you know, what comes with that is that, you know, sometimes we're in the middle of a conversation and I just turn around and run away and take the phone call, or, you know, computer. So go to my computer for a while. You know, can you talk for a couple seconds about what it's like to have a, you know, crazy business starting dad?
Um, it definitely at times can be described as crazy and hectic, but I do know though, despite all that, despite you having to, I've seen you hours and hours having to be on these tough phone calls, and you know, you do it obviously to get somewhere, and I see the results of that, but I never ever had to think for a second when I looked up at the stands that I wouldn't see you up there. I knew every single game I looked up and I knew you'd be up there cheering me on. So um, it definitely has been a crazy journey, and it's crazy how far we've come from the beginning, from that one night when you were like, man, it's weird that girls don't wear helmets on the field, you know, to all of this that's happened. It's been a pretty cool journey, but through it all, you've still been as supportive as ever and as involved as ever. So thank you, Dad. I appreciate that.
Yeah, your enthusiasm and your passion is inspiring, and people should learn from it. To, you know, the way you keep going with something when you believe in something. You hit so many roadblocks with this journey, as you'll read in the book. I don't know how you didn't turn around and just throw it all aside and say, I'm not doing this anymore. You kept going. You had something in mind that you wanted to get done. And that's what you've always done ever since I've known you. When you get an idea in your head that's important, and this was so important, and you just get it done. So we love you for it. You are crazy and it drives us crazy, but we love it. We love the ride we're on with you.
I appreciate that, and I know you do. And for you, Sam, or your sisters, I loved playing sports. I loved watching sports, and you know that. But there's been nothing better for me, no more fun in my life than watching you play, your sisters play. And so for me to go to games, it's the exact opposite of anything that's punishment. It's just been unbelievable. And the only reason, you know, that I don't make everyone is because some of them I have to be at one of your sisters' games. I just love watching you, love everything that you're doing. So keep doing what you're doing, and I'll see you real soon, both in person and out on the field. And for you, Julie, you know, thank you for everything you are, and you keep me going. And you know, every time, and there's been millions of them, I fail or I hit a roadblock. You're just always there with your support, and you too, Sam, and you lead your sisters in that way. And the love I get, whether I talk about it in the book, coming home from failing tests, these headgear tests, and just feeling like I was a failure. And the second I walk in the door, seeing your love, support, hugs, there's nothing better in life for me. So thank you for doing this, and I love you, and keep being, both of you, keep being who you are, and keep your three little sisters who they are, Sam. And thank you again for everything and being you.
We love you too.
I love
We
you.
love you too.
All right, take care.
Thanks,
Thank
Dad,
you.
for everything.
All right. Yeah. All right. Love it.